A heart-stopping moment. What if the next time you reach for your grandkid, your legs buckle, and you never get up the same? I'm Dr. Thomas, and for 30 years, I've seen seniors like you lose their strength, their joy, their life not to some loud disease, but to a silent traitor called sarcopenia. It's robbing your muscles as we speak, and you might not even notice until it's too late. But here's the shocker. A 79-year-old woman named Dorothy, who was one fall away from a nursing home, turned it all around with foods you're probably buying right now. Want to know how she went from gripping a walker to hiking with her family? Stay with me on Living Fully After 50, because this story isn't just about muscles, it's about fighting for the life you love. Let's dive into Dorothy's battle, and I'll show you how to win yours. Dorothy's darkest hour, a plea for hope. 3 years ago, on a drizzly Portland morning, Dorothy Miller shuffled into my clinic, her walker scraping like a warning bell. At 79, this former school librarian, whose laugh once filled classrooms, looked like a ghost of herself. Her hands shook as she gripped the walker, her eyes wet with fear. "Dr. Thomas," she whispered, "I'm disappearing. I can't walk to my mailbox without feeling like I'll collapse. I can't lift my granddaughter, Sophie, anymore. I'm terrified I'll lose my home, my family, everything." She'd stopped hosting her weekly knitting circle, a lifeline to her friends, because her legs couldn't handle the stairs to her living room. Her daughter, Lisa, had moved in after Dorothy nearly fell down her basement steps, a secret she hid out of shame. That fear of becoming a burden, of losing her independence wasn't just physical. It was a wound to her soul. In my 30 years as a geriatrician, I've seen this heartbreak too often. Seniors don't just want health, they yearn to chase grandkids, tend gardens, live on their own terms. Dorothy's pain was visceral, her body was betraying the vibrant woman inside. The culprit was sarcopenia, the medical term for age-related muscle loss, now recognized by the World Health Organization as a disease. Harvard Medical School warns you can lose up to 33% of your muscle mass after 60, even if you eat well. It creeps in during your 50s, silent, painless, until you can't stand from a chair or climb a step. But Dorothy's story isn't one of defeat, it's one of courage, with twists that'll leave you stunned. Let's unpack why this happens and how everyday foods changed her life. Why your muscles are vanishing and why it matters. Sarcopenia isn't just getting old. It's a complex enemy I've studied for decades, and understanding it is the first step to fighting back. Here's what I explained to Dorothy, and what you need to know. Nerve loss. Your muscles depend on nerves to move. British researchers found young adults have 60 to 70,000 nerves controlling leg movement, but by 75, you lose nearly a third. Dorothy's wobbly steps were a red flag. Her nerves were misfiring, starving her muscles. Hormonal shifts. Menopause hit Dorothy like a freight train. Estrogen drops can strip 10% of muscle mass in women. Men face testosterone decline, slowing repair. At 79, Dorothy's hormonal changes were a hidden saboteur. Diabetes and neuropathy. Dorothy's type 2 diabetes, poorly managed for years, caused diabetic neuropathy. High blood sugar damaged nerves and blood vessels in her legs, leaving them weak and tingly. I've seen this cripple countless patients' mobility. Nutrient gaps. Most seniors, including Dorothy, lack protein, omega-3s, and magnesium. Aging bodies need these to rebuild muscle, but they are less efficient. Dorothy's diet of toast, canned soup, and weak tea wasn't fueling her strength. Here's the hope that sparked in Dorothy's eyes: your muscles aren't dead, they're starving. Feed them right, and they'll roar back. I shared a study with her. 91% of adults over 70 regained muscle in 6 weeks with simple dietary tweaks. Another, from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2012, showed 2.2 pounds of muscle gain in 6 months with omega-3s alone. Dorothy was skeptical. Dr. Thomas, I'm too old for this, but I told her, you're not too old to live fully. And she proved me right. Let's walk through the foods that saved her, woven with stories of other patients and a twist that'll keep you hooked. The foods that brought Dorothy back to life. These foods aren't magic, they're science-backed staples I've prescribed for 30 years, packed with nutrients to rebuild muscles, strengthen nerves, and boost energy. Each targets a piece of the sarcopenia puzzle, and I'll share how they transformed Dorothy and others, with practical tips to make them yours. As Oprah Winfrey said, the greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change their future by merely changing their attitude. Dorothy changed her diet and her future. 1. Eggs, the breakfast that woke up Dorothy's muscles. Whole eggs are a senior's secret weapon. They are loaded with leucine, an amino acid that kickstarts muscle repair, crucial when aging slows the process. 1 egg packs 7 g of high-quality protein with all 9 essential amino acids, plus vitamin D and B12 for balance and nerve health. In my practice, eggs have cut fall risks by strengthening muscle-nerve connections. Dorothy's journey. Dorothy loved eggs but stuck to whites, scared of cholesterol, a myth I debunked with data from the American Heart Association. I had her eat 2 organic eggs daily, scrambled with spinach or boiled with a sprinkle of pepper. By week 4, she could stand from her armchair without grabbing the armrest. Dr. Thomas, my legs feel like they are waking up, she said, her eyes bright. Her grip strength, measured in clinic, jumped 18%, and she could lift her knitting bag again. Mini story. Frank's egg epiphany. Frank, 76, a retired firefighter from Tacoma, came to me after struggling to mow his lawn. He thought eggs were too simple for his weakness. I got him to try veggie omelets with tomatoes. 2 months later, he was back to yard work, grinning. I feel like I'm 60 again. His balance tests improved 22%, and he started coaching his grandson's little league team. Tip: go for pasture-raised eggs, they are nutrient-rich. Skip processed egg substitutes, they lack the good stuff. Try eggs with veggies or as a quick boiled snack. 2 lentils and beans, the plant power Dorothy didn't expect. Lentils and beans are muscle-building machines, delivering 1/8 g of protein per cup of lentils, plus iron and magnesium for contraction and energy. Research shows seniors eating legumes weekly retain more lean mass. Their slow digestion fuels tasks like walking or knitting all day. Dorothy's journey. Dorothy scoffed at beans. That's for broke college kids. But I suggested a lentil stew with carrots and garlic, like her mom's Sunday dinners. By week 8, she was walking to her mailbox without her walker, a 50-yard trek she hadn't made in months. Lisa, her daughter, noticed, "Mom's humming again, like she used to." Blood tests showed improved iron levels, oxygenating her muscles. Mini story: Clara's chili comeback. Clara, 73, a diabetic from Salem, felt her legs giving out. I recommended black bean chili with peppers. 3 months in, her neuropathy tingling eased, and she could walk to her book club a block away. She started chili nights with neighbors, sharing her recipe. Her blood sugar dropped 12 points, a win for her muscles. Tip: add lentils to soups or beans to salads. Rinse canned versions to cut sodium, or cook fresh for max flavor. 3 servings a week is plenty. 3 brown rice, the energy that kept Dorothy moving. Brown rice, unlike white, offers magnesium, B vitamins, and slow-digesting carbs for muscle recovery. A study found seniors eating complex carbs retain more muscle and feel less tired. Its fiber stabilizes blood sugar, protecting muscles from insulin spikes. Dorothy's journey. Dorothy swapped white rice for brown in her casseroles, a nod to her Midwest roots. By month 3, she was walking her dog, Rusty, for 15 minutes without stopping. "I don't feel like I'm dragging a brick anymore," she told me, her smile wide. Her balance steadied, and she could stand longer while knitting. Mini story: Ed's energy boost. Ed, 71, a former carpenter from Eugene, was wiped out by noon. He thought carbs were fattening but tried brown rice bowls with chicken. 2 months later, he was building a birdhouse for his neighbor, saying, "I've got my old spark back." His muscle mass, per DEXA scan, rose 7%. Tip: stick to 1/2-1 cup servings, especially if less active. Pair with protein, e.g., beans, for a muscle-boosting meal. For fatty fish, the omega-3 game changer. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, or mackerel are omega-3 powerhouses, DHA/EPA, boosting muscle protein synthesis. The 2012 AJCN study showed 2.2 pounds of muscle gain in 6 months with omega-3s. They curb inflammation, a sarcopenia driver, and provide vitamin D for strength. Dorothy's journey. Dorothy gagged at fish, saying, "It smells like the ocean." But I convinced her to try canned sardines on crackers twice a week. By month 4, she climbed her porch steps without her walker, grinning like a kid. Her anxiety eased. 2 omega-3s support the brain, lifting the fog of fear. A twist, her grandkids started eating sardines with her, giggling over grandma's fishy snack time. Mini story: Helen's dance revival. Helen, 80, from Bend, felt frail after losing her sister. I suggested grilled salmon weekly. 4 months later, she was square dancing at her community center, saying, "Fish gave me my groove back." Her inflammation markers, CRP, dropped 20%, and she gained 2.5 pounds of muscle. Tip: eat 2 to 3 servings weekly, wild caught if possible. Sardines are budget-friendly. Try them with lemon or in salads. 5 pumpkin seeds, the tiny muscle savers. Pumpkin seeds pack magnesium and zinc, essential for muscle contraction and repair. Deficiencies are common in seniors, causing weakness. Zinc also supports testosterone, aiding muscle health for both genders. Dorothy's journey. Dorothy called pumpkin seeds squirrel food but sprinkled them on her salads. By month 5, her leg cramps, magnesium deficiencies hallmark were gone. She could knit for an hour without pain, and her zinc levels normalized, per blood tests. Mini story: Tom's snack swap. Tom, 78, from Spokane, loved chips but felt sluggish. I suggested roasted pumpkin seeds. 6 weeks later, he was lifting heavier groceries, saying, "These seeds are my new addiction." His strength tests showed a 14% boost, and he felt less tired. Tip: add a handful to yogurt or salads. Roast your own to avoid salt overload. A small daily dose works wonders. 6 tofu and tempeh, the plant protein surprise. Tofu and tempeh, staples in long-living cultures like Okinawa, offer complete proteins with all essential amino acids. Tempeh's probiotics aid nutrient absorption, while calcium and isoflavones support bones and reduce inflammation. Dorothy's journey. Dorothy laughed at tofu that's for hippies, but tried tempeh stir-fries with zucchini. By month 6, she was walking a half-mile to her neighbor's house, saying, "I feel solid again." Her bone density improved slightly, and she loved tempeh's nutty flavor. Mini story: Susan's vegan win. Susan, 70, a vegan from Olympia, was losing strength fast. I suggested tofu scrambles with spinach. 3 months later, she was back to Tai Chi, saying, "I'm stronger than my kids." Her physical therapist noted stabilized muscle mass. Tip: marinate tempeh for flavor or blend tofu into smoothies. Soy milk or edamame are great alternatives. 7 avocados, the nutrient booster Dorothy loved. Avocados' healthy fats enhance absorption of vitamins A, D, E, and K, crucial for muscle repair. Their vitamin E and C improve skin health, boosting confidence in seniors. As Hippocrates said, "Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food." Dorothy's journey. Dorothy fell for avocado toast with eggs, calling it her morning treat. By month 7, her energy was consistent, and her skin glowed. Lisa noticed, saying, "Mom looks younger." Dorothy could carry her watering can, a small victory that felt huge. Mini story: George's glow up. George, 82, from Vancouver, felt frail and self-conscious about his dry skin. Adding avocado to his salads helped nutrient absorption. 4 months later, he was hiking short trails, joking, "I'm ready for a photo shoot." His skin was smoother, and he gained 2 pounds of muscle. Tip: add half an avocado to meals, smoothies, salads, or toast. Pair with protein for max impact. 8. Flax seeds, the hormone helper that surprised Dorothy. Flax seeds' lignans balance hormones, vital for postmenopausal women like Dorothy, where estrogen drops accelerate muscle loss. They improve circulation and insulin sensitivity, aiding repair and energy. Dorothy's journey: Dorothy blended ground flax into her oatmeal, saying it felt like home cooking. By month 8, she was gardening for an hour without tiring. Her blood sugar stabilized, easing her diabetes symptoms. At twist, her joint pain faded, likely from better circulation, shocking us both. Mini story: Laura's energy surge. Laura, 68, postmenopausal from Corvallis, felt weak and moody. Flax in her smoothies cut her energy dips. 3 months later, she was volunteering at a shelter, saying, "I'm me again." Her insulin sensitivity improved, per lab results. Tip: use 1 to 2 tablespoons ground flax daily. Whole seeds don't digest. Mix into yogurt or shakes, freeze. 9. Oats, the muscle meal that sealed Dorothy's victory. Oats, my personal favorite, deliver complex carbs, protein, and beta-glucan fiber for heart health and blood sugar stability. They are easy to digest, perfect for seniors, and fuel all-day energy. As Maya Angelou said, "You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them." Dorothy's journey: Dorothy's breakfast became steel-cut oats with almond milk, yogurt, and berries. By month 9, she ditched her walker and joined a senior hiking group. She hosted her knitting circle again, beaming as friends raved about her muscle oats. Her energy was rock steady, and she felt 25 years younger. Mini story: Sam's morning ritual. Sam, 81, a retired mechanic from Boise, swapped bacon for oats with pumpkin seeds. 3 months later, he was climbing stairs pain-free, and his cholesterol dropped 10%. He said, "This stuff's my secret weapon." His strength tests showed a 12% boost. Tip: cook rolled or steel-cut oats with almond milk, add protein, yogurt, and top with seeds or berries. Avoid instant oats, they are less nutrient-dense. The twist that broke my heart and then healed it. Here's the gut-wrenching twist that makes Dorothy's story unforgettable. At her 9-month checkup, Dorothy walked in no walker and handed me a letter, her hands steady. It was from her daughter, Lisa, revealing a secret. Dorothy had fallen down her basement stairs a year before, fracturing her pelvis. She'd hidden it, even from Lisa, because she feared it'd mean a nursing home. That fall was why she clung to her walker, why she'd stopped living. But these foods, and her fierce determination, didn't just rebuild her muscles, they rebuilt her courage. She wrote, "Dr. Thomas, I thought I'd lose my home, my grandkids, my life. Now I'm hiking with them. You gave me my spark back." Another twist, Lisa, 55, started eating these foods to prevent her own muscle loss. She joined Dorothy's hiking group, and they became the Power Millers at their senior center, inspiring others. This wasn't just Dorothy's triumph, it was a family revolution. I've seen this ripple effect in my practice. One person's change lights a fire in others. Dorothy's story is about more than muscles, it's about defying fear, reclaiming joy, and living fully after 50. The drama of doubt and defiance. Dorothy's journey wasn't a straight line. Her arthritis made chopping veggies painful, and she craved her old comfort foods, mac and cheese, sugary tea. One night, she called me in tears, "Dr. Thomas, I spilled my lentil stew. Am I too weak for this?" I reminded her of Nelson Mandela's words, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." We found workarounds: pre-chopped veggies, canned sardines, a blender for flax smoothies. By month 5, she was cooking again, her kitchen filled with the smells of her childhood. The drama peaked when she almost skipped her granddaughter Sophie's graduation, fearing she'd stumble in the crowded auditorium. But with her new strength, she walked those steps, cheering louder than anyone. That moment was her defiance of doubt, her reclaiming of life. Why this works? 30 years of wisdom. In my 30 years as a doctor, I've seen every fat powders, pills, risky surgeries promised to fix aging. Sarcopenia isn't about quick fixes, it's about feeding your starving muscles. Protein, eggs, lentils, tofu, rebuilds fibers, countering age-related decline. Omega-3s, fish, and fats, avocados, reduce inflammation and boost nutrient uptake. Magnesium/zinc, seeds, and carbs, oats, rice, fuel contraction and energy. Lignans, flax, balance hormones, slowing muscle loss. But it's not just science. As a psychologist, I know mindset is half the battle. Dorothy's fear of losing her home drove her, but small wins like walking to her mailbox build her confidence. I've seen this in thousands of patients. Hope plus action equals transformation. As Eleanor Roosevelt said, you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. Overcoming the roadblocks. Changing your diet isn't easy, I get it. Dorothy's arthritis made cooking a chore, and she missed her old foods. If you're like her, start small. 1 egg breakfast, 1 bean salad a week. If cooking's tough, try canned beans, rinsed, or pre-made tofu. If you're diabetic, like Dorothy, pair these foods with your doctor's plan. Her blood sugar stabilized with oats and flax. Get family involved, like Dorothy did with Lisa. Share a meal, swap recipes, Make it fun. It's not just about food, it's about connection, about living fully. The dream of living fully after 50. Sarcopenia doesn't just steal muscles, it steals dreams. I've had patients stop traveling, knitting, or playing with grandkids because they felt frail. But I've also seen the opposite. Patients like Dorothy who reclaimed their spark. Stronger muscles mean fewer falls, less fear, more life. Dorothy's hike with her grandkids wasn't just steps, it was proof she wasn't too old. That's what living fully after 50 is about. Thriving, not just surviving. It's about hugging your grandkids, tending your garden, living in your home on your terms. Conclusion: the lesson that changed my life. Dorothy's letter, tucked beside a photo of her hiking with Sophie, sits on my desk. It reads, "Dr. Thomas, you didn't just save my legs, you saved my home, my family, my heart. That's why I'm here, why living fully after 50 exists." The lesson: your body's not done with you. Start with one food: eggs tomorrow, oats next week. In weeks, you could walk farther, stand taller, feel alive again. Don't do it alone, share this with someone you love, like Dorothy did with Lisa. Comment below, which food will you try first? Like, share this video, and let's spread the hope. Want more stories like Dorothy's? Check our next video on beating fatigue after 50. Your life's waiting, are you ready to live it fully?